So how to know we are following the truth? What is that truth with capital T?
Yeah. Huh. Well, yeah, I mean, the truth, what I understand by truth with capital T is the truth of what various sages or mystics they describe as being when they reach a certain higher level of development, they all have the same insights. I mean, they are seeing reality in a certain way. It's not that they have some smart insight. They're like, whoa, I see what's happening here. They have that. And then they teach from that. Yeah. So, and it seems like the common element or some criteria of this so-called truth is that like this, that that everything here, everything on this planet and everything in the system, solar system, galaxy, everything is an expression and the manifestation of consciousness. And everything is conscious at different frequencies. Now, I have no problem saying that everything is God, but you know, some people get triggered about it, and I would have been triggered a few years ago if somebody will tell me about God, because I had bad idea of God connected not to God itself, but to distorted man-made ideas of God connected to religion and stuff like that. But like that everything here is an expression of the divine, of the infinite, and everything is God. And it's almost like the whole universe here is like a like a huge creature, like a dragon that is alive, and that is God. And the galaxies and the sun and the trees and the rivers and the Amazon and the ocean and Claudia and Mihai, they're all little cells and particles in this infinite one reality. So that is truth with capital T, yeah? And then within each Claudia and Mihai and the listeners, although we are not aware of that, we start like, oh no, man, I'm Mihai, I'm this guy, I'm this body, I'm whatever. But this is because we are asleep somehow. Consciousness is asleep. The true self, the being, is asleep and is dreaming these things. But if it were to wake up, which is gradual, wake up, and it's not just waking up, you know, in the Gospels, and Gurdjieff will speak about this, it's you have to wake up, then you need to die, and then you need to be reborn. So it's not just waking up. Waking up is like becoming more aware of how much I'm asleep and how much shit I have here, and then bringing awareness to this stuff. So all of these lies, deceits, imaginations, false beliefs, all of these patterns, they need to die in order to be reborn as a conscious being. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's enough about what you didn't ask me what is the truth, but I just wanted to define this, that in my understanding, and it seems like the understanding of all sages, there is some common kernel of what I just said, what the truth with capital T is. And that is what we are. That's the thing now, because this awareness practices and Buddhist and Dzogchen and all those that the gentleman mentioned, these are awareness practices connected to discovering Buddha nature, awakening higher centers. So there's all of this to engage in a certain process to discover that truth experientially, and which is our true identity, you know. Okay, but how do you know you are following that? How do you know? What are the signposts? Well, I would say that initially, if you are on the right track with the truth, it's going to get pretty uncomfortable. It's going to get really unpleasant. If it gets kind of really nice quickly, it's nice, and that's you are probably not on the right track. So
Why?
it's going to get unpleasant because we are becoming more conscious of all of these lies we tell ourselves and all of these lying negative beliefs about ourselves and about these emotions based on taking things personally, making assumptions. We are seeing ourselves. We are seeing the truth about our ego. And that is painful. Gurdjieff was saying that you are going to be horrified. If you are not horrified, it means you are not really seeing what's happening here. I'm talking about the initial phases or some time. Yeah. So it's going to be unpleasant because you are facing yourself as the ego. And also you are facing, if you are on a good track, you are starting to allow yourself to feel things that you have pushed down. Hurts and pains and sadness and losses and shame and guilt. And all of this need to be felt and seen. Yeah. So I just want to, you probably don't like what I'm saying, but you are interviewing me, so I'm telling
No,
you.
yes, it's okay. No, it's okay. No, because
So, okay,
yes, I was
let
reading.
me continue.
Sorry. I was reading San Francis, and he was really sad in one moment, you know, in his life. Like you say, he realized something, and he was just crying and crying and crying and crying. He cannot stop crying because he realized that Christ was crucified, yes, and we are still being like so selfish and things, and Christ was crucified, yes, for us, and we are still so selfish, yes. And he was like just
Yeah.
so crying, and you say, I can't believe it, I just can't. I just like
Yeah.
yeah.
So Francis was the high being, very high being, and he was now having this collective pain, the pain of the collective unconsciousness. He would suffer. How low is the level of humanity? And that's more like higher level of suffering in some way. One first needs to go through one's own personal suffering, actually, like sadness, loss, anger, all of this pain, trauma that needs to lighten up, and one will go to feel, oh my God, what we are doing to each other. We're all brothers and sisters here, and we torture each other, and it's painful, and it's sad, and it hurts. That's what he was dealing with. But I think that's more like advanced level. I'm saying that initially we are going for our personal pain body, family pain body, seeing our falseness. Anyway, now, this being said, another thing is that we are developing this capacity to be more present, the way I described before, to be more aware. We develop this capacity to be less identified with thoughts and feelings. We develop this, the mind will get quieter. The mind will be quieter. It's not going to be like this all the time. There will be more, although there's ongoing waves of suffering and various things, we are going to travel lighter. We're going to feel lighter gradually. And it's going to be less burdened by imaginary suffering. We are going to get rid of imaginary self-created suffering, which is a lot of our suffering is like that. Self-created, imaginary, unnecessary suffering. The only suffering we'll have left is real suffering. And from one angle, what Francis talks about is the pain of seeing what us as humans doing to each other. But also, if your partner dies, or if your mom dies, or if you get sick, or there's war, there's still some suffering, yeah? But it's going to diminish the unnecessary suffering. Another criteria is that there is going to be much more inner peace, actually. And then one will be more free from this, what they think of me. Oh, this inner considering, what they think of me. Am I okay? I need to be different. So then they like me, wanting to get approval, wanting to try to be in a certain way so people don't judge me. That is suffering. So one will be freer from that. One will have a sense of trusting consciousness, trusting God, trusting that what is happening here, it's all fine. It's okay. It is totally okay. And no matter what obstacles I have, these are for me, showing me where I'm stuck somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, in that one, I remember just a prayer that San Francis say that he was a spider eating a fly, and he got like so like, oh, so horrible, so disgusting, you know. He say that creature is horrible,
Yeah.
and he say I don't like it, and he don't like the birds that eat the other, I mean, animals and things like that. But then he realized, oh no, I am discriminating and I am making war inside me, and I am going against the Lord creation.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
And then he say, everything is okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say right now, everything is okay. It's so beautiful what you say. Yes.
Yeah, he actually, out of his the sweet, deep love and deep kindness, they had seems like it was an embodiment of love. And it was on a different path. There are different paths up the mountain, yeah. But his deep love and kindness will feel pain that the spider is eating something. But then I'm glad that he realized the distortion and he was like, whoa, no, that's how it works here. That's all it made to be like that. The spider is this and it is that. And that's how the creator made it. And how this aging and getting old and dying, that's not a mistake. That's how the divine order of things. And yeah, that's what actually higher beings, they reach this understanding that Robert Adams will say it. All is well. All is well and unfolding as it should. And yes, men are coming, bombing, and they are coming in caskets, hundreds of caskets, and the women are tortured, and the children are dying, and this is terrible. And it's ideally, it's nice, it's good to do something about it if one can. But in spite of all of that, all is well and unfolding as it should. There's no problem, actually. But from a deeper level of seeing reality, somehow, a bigger perspective beyond seeing just the body and stuff like that. So I guess that's more like a deeper, more advanced stages of following the truth. Because if you really believe and feel and know that all is well, then there's peace. You know what I mean? So as Jesus would say, the peace that passeth understanding. So experiencing that is a criteria that one is on the right track. Also, being, loving, loving and being kind doesn't have to be all the time, because sometimes one needs to be the loving. The kindest thing to do is to be very firm and shout at someone. Yeah. But I'm talking about that there's the realization that everyone there, everyone is my brother and my sister, and the creatures, they're all one big family. And actually, everyone is actually God. So from this understanding, then one is having more love. There's love. And then, that's why the golden rule, treat others as you want to be treated, then love your neighbor. Love, because everybody is you and everybody is you as being God. So having this realization and insights, experiential, not just as a religious program, it means that one is really doing good.